Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Nehru, and you are tuned in to The Encourager. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're doing well and things are going good for you and you are optimistic about today. Again, I always encourage us and myself to focus on today. It's easy to get carried away about tomorrow or next week. It's easy to look back and get stuck in the past. As excuse me, as I say, the past creates depression, develops depression, and worrying about the future creates anxiety. Okay? So again, we are here, the collective, to help us all become the highest, purest, truest version of ourselves possible. We do that a number of ways by including and excluding energy, people, habits, things, places that serve our good and that no longer serve our good. Okay? Today I want to continue on with the book of Enoch and going through this removed book of the Bible, where Enoch, we left off on chapter 21, where Enoch had ascended to this supernatural place. And he was really traveling. He was really astral traveling. And this is one of the reasons why the religious church, Roman Catholics, and so on and so forth, secret societies, why they have removed, Illuminati have removed these verses, books from the Bible, is because these books that they've removed talks too much about spirituality and not about religion. And so they could not change these books enough in order to get rid of they felt like these things were a threat to opening up man's eyes, essentially. Okay. And I don't know about you, but I want to see as clear as possible, both naturally and physically. You know, when I went into the military, you do a physical exam. And I definitely know that because of night vision goggles and stuff like that my eyes definitely got worse over the 8 years that I was in the military. I remember going in and I had 20/14 vision. That's really what I had. So my right eye was exceptionally strong. When I left out of the military, I had 20/20 vision. So the military even made my vision a little worse over those 8 years, but still good. And so I only know I had 20/14 vision because I looked at the chart. I looked at my medical records. I looked at the exam records. So yes, in chapter 22, the book of Enoch, okay? And again, I hope you're doing well. Thank you, by the way, to our subscribers. It was 333 when I looked down at the clock. Thank you so much, subscribers, and those who are tuning in for the first time, those who have been with this journey for a minute. Thank you. And yeah, so let's continue. We're starting in the 22nd book of Enoch, chapter of Enoch, okay? And from here, and again, this is Enoch, he's still in this ascended place, so he's still going through these places where Most High is telling him and showing him where the fallen man, the fallen angels, and we still have fallen angels today, the fallen man will be held until the consummation. And again, that consummation was the birth, death, burial, resurrection, however you want to word it, of Yeshua, the ascended master. Okay, that's who. Buddha is an ascended master. Mother Mary is I mentioned several of them, or what have you throughout videos or reference them. Okay, if you would like to know who they are, there are several of them, the ascended masters. Please do look up the ascended masters and find out who they are. How did they become ascended masters? What was their journey here on earth? So on and so forth. Okay. So yes, the 22nd chapter of the book of Enoch. And from here, I went, again, this is spiritually, not physically, okay? I went to another place, and he showed me, Most High, showed me in the west a great and high mountain, chain of rocks and 4 beautiful places. And again, when Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden, they were placed in the west. And so wherever this western reference is, this is extremely important. And for sure is in the northeastern area of Africa, or somewhere in that region. Okay, that's where this is, or was, if it's not underwater today, because again, the flood had not happened. Enoch was telling of the flood. Most High had given him information to give to Lamech, who is Noah's father. Okay. And so, and beneath them, or maybe Lamech was speaking to or communicating with Enoch as well. Okay. And beneath them, there were places deep and broad and entirely smooth as if a thing were rolled, and deep and dark to look at. And this time, Raphael, Archangel Raphael, one of the angels, holy angels, it says, who was with me, answered and said to me, these beautiful places are intended for this, that upon them may be assembled the spirits, the souls of the dead, for they have been created that here, let me bring this closer because I'm losing my line where I am when I go from line to line. So these places made their dwellings till the day of their judgment and to their fixed period. And their fixed period was 70 generations. We learned that between chapters 9 and 14, I believe, that Most High had given man 70 generations worth of curses and darkness that man would dwell in from this point up until how many ever 70 generations are. Okay. And again, that's in Most High's eyes as far as calculations, not man's. Okay. So that's how long that fixed period was or is. And this period is long till the great judgment will come over them. Verse 5, and I saw the spirits of the children of men who had died, and their voices reached up to heaven and lamented, or cried out, praying, sobbing, pleading, petitioning. At that time, I asked the angel Raphael, who was with me, and said to him, whose soul is that whose voice thus reaches to heaven and laments? And he answered and said to me, saying, this is the spirit that preceded him, Abel, who his brother Cain slew. Okay, so now we're talking about Cain and Abel here, right? We learned about this. Everything that happened the first time happened, well, most things happen in the book, are recorded in the book of Genesis. The first homicide happened in that book. Okay, at least as far as, again, that man teaches, right? And that was Cain and Abel, right? And so whom's brother Cain slew, and it laments on his account till his seed be destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed disappear from among the seed of men. So that means the genealogy of Cain, because he slew Abel, that bloodline was not going to be, he was not going to be freed, Cain, from the torment that Most High was showing Enoch until his bloodline had been cleared. Okay, that's what that means. So what does it mean to clear your bloodline? It means someone in your genealogy, someone in your spiritual bloodline has to come along excuse me, Z, excuse me, I'm going to get this information out anyway, has to come along and be willing to do the work that breaks the chains of the demonic curses, witchcraft, and evil deeds of Cain and those who have come after him in his lineage. That's what that means. So the 144, that's what we're called to do, but we're not the only ones. Again, that references a specific set apart group. But the truth is, you can become a part of. This is why nothing returns to Most High void or unaccomplished. Because this is why his grace is sufficient. It runs out, because if it didn't run out, there wouldn't be a hell. There wouldn't be a purgatory. There wouldn't be a spiritual penitentiary. 11:01 when I look down at the clock. Okay? If that were the case, there would not be an opposite to heaven or to glory or to the ascended place. There would not be a lower place. If there was no high vibration, there would not be a low vibration. Okay? So he is saying that until this bloodline is cleaned up, there will be no redemption for Cain in his bloodline. Somebody has to come along and do the healing work. I did it for my shamanic bloodline. I hope you're doing it for yours. Okay? And he answered and said to me, saying, that is the spirit that proceeded from Abel, and whom his brother Cain slew. And it laments on his account till his seed be destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed disappear from among the seed of man. And again, that means his DNA is untraceable anymore, because it's been cleaned by someone in his bloodline who came along and decided to do the spiritual work and ascend to a higher place. Okay? And at this time, verse 8, at that time, I therefore asked concerning him and concerning the judgment of all, and said, why is one separated from the other? And this archangel, Raphael, I believe, Archangel Raphael answered and said to me, these three apartments are made in order to separate the souls of the dead. Apartments is italicized. And thus are the souls of the just separated. There is a spring of water above it, light. So a spring of water, then above that there is light. And thus also is one such apartment made for the sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, without a judgment having been passed upon them during their lives. Okay, so some people are obviously birthed here and they die. We call it dying before their time. Okay? And that's what I believe this is speaking to. So they did not have the opportunity to redeem. They did not have the opportunity to, because some unforeseen whatever happened to them and it ended their natural life early. I told you 1313 or 1333 when I looked down at the clock. Okay? When I told you in a previous life, dealing with the same karmic divine masculine spirit, false, whatever, witchcraft worker, warlock, dealing with those spirits, okay? I have come up against them before. In a previous life, my most recent previous life that they were a part of, they actually unalived me, and they unalived me somewhere around the age of 47, 48 years old, okay? Let's see, where are we at? The apartments, verse 10. And thus also is one such apartment made for the sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, without a judgment having been passed upon them during their lives, because they were unalived before judgment was passed upon them, right? Here their souls are separated in the great affliction until the day of judgment and punishment and affliction upon the revilers to eternity. Okay, and the vengeance for their souls, and here he binds them to eternity. Okay, so those individuals are held there, or were This could be past or present tense, right? Were held there. I believe this actually still happens because people obviously are still being unalived outside of their original meant time to ascend back to the Father. Okay, I speak of a lot of these cases, especially the ones that go unsolved for decades at a time. Right, that bothers me, and it bothers me tremendously. Okay, and verse 10 or 12, and if it was before eternity, then this apartment has been made for the souls of those who lament and those who reveal their destruction when they were killed in the days of the sinner. Okay, so this is speaking to the happenings before the earth was created. And this is why it says, and if before eternity. Okay, and if it was, so if they were part of the entourage that that jumped onto Lucifer's side, right? Because Lucifer wanted to take the place of Most High Yahweh, right? He kicked them out. There were those who followed him, followed Lucifer out, speaking to those and those spirits, those souls. Okay, if before eternity. Okay. And thus it has been created for the souls of men who were not just but sinners, who were complete in their crimes, and they will be with the criminals like themselves. But their souls will not be killed on the day of judgment and will not be taken from here. At that time, I blessed the Lord, and glory said, blessed is my Lord, this is Enoch, the Lord of glory and of justice, who rules all things to eternity. Chapter 23. And from there I went to another place towards the west, to the ends of the earth, and I saw a flaming fire which ran without resting, and did not cease from its course day or night, but continued regularly. And I asked, saying, what is this that has no rest? At that time answered Archangel Raguel, and that's a different archangel, Raguel, Archangel Raguel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and said to me, that burning fire which thou seest running towards the west is the fire of all the luminaries of heaven. Okay. Chapter 24. And from there I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain chain of fire which flamed day and night. And I went towards it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, one different from the other, and magnificent and beautiful rocks, everything magnificent and fine in appearance and of beautiful surface. 3 towards the east, one founded upon the other. 3 towards the south, one founded upon the other, and ravens deep and winding, not one joining with another. And that says ravines, sorry, not ravens, it's ravines. And the 7th hill was between these. Okay, we read this earlier. And in their heights there were all like the seats of a throne, and Yeshua is in the middle. This is what it might reiterate. And he's surrounded with fragrant trees. Okay, I forget the flower that is fragrant, but it's a white one. Are those lilies? I don't know what those are. They're not lilies. I don't know what those are, but very, very strong, gives off a very strong fragrance. And other flowers do too. I'm just reminded of that one because it seems to be the most common that I've come across. And so where are we at here? Okay, 4th verse of chapter 24. And among them was a tree such as I had never smelt before, neither among these nor among others, nor was there a fragrance like it. Its leaves and buds and wood did not wither in eternity. Its fruit is beautiful like the fruit of the vine and the palm tree. At that time I said, behold, this is a beautiful tree and beautiful to look at, and its leaves are fair, and its fruit very pleasant to the eye. At that time Archangel Michael answered, one of the holy and honored angels. It's interesting that he points out that some are honored, some are holy, some are honored and holy. Okay, Archangel Michael was honored and holy. Okay, who was with me, who was over them. He was over the trees. He was in charge of these trees. Okay. Chapter 25. And he said to me, Enoch, what dost thou ask me concerning the fragrance of this tree, and dost seek to know? He's asking him, are you curious about this tree? Would you like to know where these fragrances coming from that you've never smelt in any tree, both spiritually and naturally? Would you like to know? Where the flowers, the leaves? Would you like to know the oil that comes from this tree? Would you like to know, Enoch? Chapter 2. Then Enoch answered him, saying, concerning all things I desire to know, but especially concerning this tree. And he answered me, saying, this high mountain which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is the throne where the holy and great God of glory, the eternal King, will sit when he shall descend to visit the earth with goodness. And this tree of beautiful fragrance cannot be touched by any flesh until the time of the great judgment, when all things will be atoned and consummated for eternity. This will be given to the just and humble. For its fruit, verse 5, for its fruits life will be given to the chosen. It will be planted towards the north and in a holy place towards the house of the Lord, the eternal King. Then they will rejoice greatly and be glad in the Holy One. They will let its fragrance enter their members and live a long life upon the earth, as thy fathers lived. And in their days no sorrow or sickness or trouble or affliction will touch them. Then I bless the Lord, O glory, the eternal King, because he had prepared such for the just men, and had created such, and said he would give it to them. So Enoch was definitely glad that he knew, because he knew that he was part of this promise. So he's rejoicing. Enoch saying, thank goodness, I thought I was going to go down with everyone else. Okay. And what I'm curious about is to learn about how Enoch actually passed. Because I'm starting to get the feeling that he actually kind of ascended, and there's no genuine record of him being buried or anything. That's what I'm really kind of getting the feeling of. And I really do believe that this is what happens to the ascended masters. I really do believe this is what happens to them. They're not buried. There's no cremation. They are just gone one day. That's it. They rolled the tomb away, the stone away from the tomb, and they went, and they were like, what the hell? Right? Mary didn't even believe Yeshua. Yeshua didn't even know he was going to be resurrected. That's why he didn't tell any of them. He thought his mission was just to die, and that was it. Come here, be tempted with the same things as man, have to deal with monitoring spirits, have to deal with karmic individuals, witchcraft, warlocks, Luciferians, have to deal with all of that, yet not give in to false temptation, not give in to the 3D, and show man that it can be done. And they can remain high vibrational. Man can ascend. All right? This is what he came here to do. Okay. Man makes it a little foolish and comical in telling you that Jesus died for your sins. They make it a little simplistic. He actually gave you an opportunity, and don't pray to Jesus. That is a major mistake. Okay? That is a major mistake. Don't pray to Jesus. Okay? He's an ascended master. He's not your God. He's not the creator. Why are you praying to someone who did not create you? Why are you doing that? Would you pray to your mother or father? Why would you do that? Okay. So, chapter 26. And from here, I went to the middle. Let me see if I got a feeling there's something else from the 25th chapter. Oh, so heaven and earth is created for Most High and his chosen people. Okay? It is not created for the devil. You might think this is a hellish place, and I believe there are a lot of hellish people here. But this verse says, it says, they will let its fragrance enter their members and live a long life upon the earth. So the earth was created, again, for Yeshua, for Yahweh and his people, right? That's who it was created for. It wasn't created for the enemy. Again, despite the hellish place that it's been over the last several hundreds of years, that's not the truth. Man would want you to believe that the earth is the devil's and the devil is ruling, but the devil isn't running shit. Okay? The devil's not running a damn thing except himself into hell and purgatory, right? To be cast out into these places that we are reading about. That's all that Lucifer is doing. That's all that Beelzebub and Jezebel is doing. That's all they're doing. Okay? Lucifer looks attractive. Lucifer looks alluring. Lucifer is charismatic. Lucifer is enticing. Okay? Lucifer is also deceiving, a liar. Looks good, right? But no, that's not good, right? So Lucifer looks like the 20-year-old talking to, and I think I'm going to actually stop here because I see that's where I'm going. So Lucifer looks like the boss that's mistreating you. Lucifer looks like the spouse that's cheating on you with one of their employees or employer. That's what Lucifer looks like. Lucifer looks like the guy coming through your daughter's window or your son's window to unalive them and do unspeakable things to them. That's Lucifer. Lucifer looks like your spouse that won't get off the alcohol or the drugs, and they keep abusing you and doing shit to keep you with them. That's Lucifer. That's the Antichrist. The one who keeps you from your higher self. That's the Antichrist. Lucifer is religion. That's the Antichrist. Lucifer is religion. That's the Antichrist. Lucifer is the Baptist church. Lucifer is the non-denominational church. Lucifer is the Pentecostal church. Lucifer is the Church of God in Christ. Lucifer is the Roman Catholic Church. Lucifer is the Mormons. Lucifer is. Okay? Lucifer is every religion. Every religion is the Antichrist. Every religion. The religions that use the Bible and the religions that have other books. Those are the Luciferians. The ones standing up telling you that you need to be in front of them every single week. These are the Luciferians. This is the Antichrist. The Antichrist isn't some weird, ugly looking person walking around with a pitchfork. That's not it. They're the attractive looking thing, the alluring looking thing that is lying, stealing, cheating, manipulating, conniving. That is the Antichrist. That's the Jezebel spirit. The woman who uses you for money, that's the Jezebel spirit. The woman who was plotting to do a murder for hire, that's the Jezebel spirit. because she wants your money. There's a life insurance policy. That's the Jezebel spirit. That's the Luciferian spirit. That's the devil. That's the Antichrist. There is no place for them to hide. No purpose or no place for them to go. I'm looking at the word purpose. No place for them to go. There's nothing new under the sun, because this is a cycle and it goes around. Most High is on cycles. Okay? The sun rises, the moon sets. The moon rises, the sun sets. Most High is on cycles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Most High is on cycles. 111, 333, 222, 666, 777, 999, 888. Most High is on cycles. 414, 313. Most High is on cycles. 202. Most High is on cycles. Okay? The sun rises, the stars go away. Blue skies. Most High is on a cycle. He gave us 12 months. It's not forever months. We start over. Most High is on a cycle. These are cycles. So they repeat themselves. So the next round of Luciferians, when they decide to show up and come against the chosen and the elect, I'm getting the word elect. When they come against the elect, again, same promise, because it's not going to return to him void. So he spoke the word to Enoch thousands of years ago. That word is still true today. This is what's going to become of your enemies. The only difference is Yeshua has come and given opportunity for consummation and redemption today. But there's obviously still man who is choosing not to take that opportunity and to remain in the Antichrist. What's the Antichrist? The Antichrist tells you, again, you are required to go to church every single week in this place and do the repetitive thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's the Antichrist. Okay? That's the Antichrist. The mega church. That's the Antichrist. Why? Because their focus is money. All of them. Their focus is money. You couldn't point out one mega church on this planet today whose focus is not money. It may have started out genuine, but it's money today. Absolutely 100%. Because if it wasn't, somebody would be standing up and telling them people to stop coming here. Don't come here every week. I'm trying to help you be mature so you can carry your own cross, so that you can help you and your family ascend. Don't come here every week. You show up here whenever you feel like it. And that's what the synagogue used to be. It was just an open place. You go and you have quiet time with Most High, with your angels, in prayer, supplication. That's what the synagogue is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be some organized religion, some program. It's not supposed to be choir selections and all of that. It's not supposed to be that. It's not supposed to be sitting in chairs for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's not what That's not what it is. It's communion. It's not listening to one man speak for an hour and a half, him trying to convince you that he's telling you the truth. That's not it. We're meant to do our own journey. We're meant to follow our own path. So that we can cure our karmic bloodlines. So that going forward, when Enoch was heard about Cain and Abel in the previous chapter or 2 chapters ago, we know that until that bloodline is healed, cured, set free, of all the karmic waste that is in that pipeline, all the karmic waste in that pipeline. Okay? Get some Red X. Pull that shit down that tank. Or in that pipe, right? Spiritual Red X. Get that shit. Right? How do you do that? By becoming who you really truly are. Okay? That is how. Right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I know this wasn't much. It's where I was led to go with what is being spoken today. So thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we will continue our read through the book of Enoch, and even more so dive into what Most High is showing us and the ascended place, so that, because there's a crown for you. Hold on a second. There's a crown for you, man and woman. There's a crown for you. And Most High, your angels and your ancestors have been holding this crown for eons. Holding this crown, waiting for someone, waiting for one of their offspring, spiritual offspring. I'm not talking about your blood family. They're waiting for one of their spiritual offspring to rise up so that they can take this crown off the mantle and rightfully place it where it belongs. They're waiting for you to be that person. Are you up for the challenge? Will you wear your crown with pride, with honor? Will you do that with integrity? Will you do that? Again, I just dismissed another business collaboration this morning because I continue to filter. People talk about no filter. Both are good and both are necessary. Okay? So when you see and realize that the energy that's been sent to you is no longer serving your good, cut the umbilical cord. Cut the umbilical cord. Don't hold on to it. Being a tax accountant was a job I had for 13 years, or at least in some capacity, bookkeeper, blah, 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 right? Within that industry. Yesterday, actually, email I received actually confirmed, and then even more so today. And so I took the step and I let that individual know, they are a financial advisor, and I let them know that we can sever this. And I literally said, we can sever this connection because apparently it's run its course. I have no problem saying that to anyone, right? They're supposed to be giving me a call here, I don't know, in an hour. I don't know if they are. They might not. But it doesn't matter, right? Because I know who I am, and no one's talking me off of this place, this position. No one's talking me down. Okay? Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that Enoch's journey is ministering to you like it's ministering to me, and helping me to see things that, again, are not between Genesis and Revelation, and it's expanding on some of those things. Okay? Thank you so much again. My name's Nehru. You've been tuned into The Encourager. Enjoy your day as always, and be encouraged.